REACH was triggered because of the inadequate protection level of health and environment. And then it's very important opportunity, the REACH review, that the Commission is taking a broad view on if it is really working and it is going to improve the implementation of the regulation.
6 years ago we got ultimately, after years of discussion, a compromise on the most negotiated and debated legislation that Europe ever got. I am still convinced that we can talk about a kind of reasonable compromise in the sense that 6 years ago no one was happy, and if you see how people are thinking about it today, still everyone is having negative criticism.
The metals industry was deeply involved in the implementation of REACH, and we invested a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of effort. It was extremely good because it triggers a lot of innovation from our side, since REACH is and was written first for the organic sectors. It was also a lot of challenges, yes, this one, and also the fact that we don't have the stability of some of the tools, and it's extremely complicated sometimes to get up to speed.
We support the objectives of REACH to replace substances we can have an impact on cancer or environment. The fact is that we are of course a flight safety business, so we want to prevent accidents with aircraft. And there are many cases where we will need certain substances to be continued to be used because we don't have any alternatives in terms of flight safety.
In this framework of economic crisis, it's quite important that the substitution is taken more seriously, and authorities and drivers use the substitution as a solution.
We have to prevent that too many substances are added to the list, because the more you add, the more problems you create. The other point is maybe look at how the substances are used. So in aviation we have the European Aviation Safety Agency, so maybe they can play a role here.
The major question mark, what will happen with the authorization process? There is a lot of interaction between industry and the agency to discuss on the procedures, how to make it work, how to present it in a clear way that companies are understanding it.
We will have to apply for authorizations. That's one thing, that's a cost to the companies. However, even if we get authorizations, we might not have any more access to those substances because companies which are higher up in the supply chain might not have any more business case. The consequence of that will be that if you're an airline with a maintenance shop, you will have only one option, that is to close some of your activity in Europe and move it outside Europe, where they are not confronted with these restrictions.
The next challenges in the authorization will be even a better communication and an increased role of the downstream user, because authorization is about use and not about substances.
A revision is something that surely not should be done. If you're going to change the rules in the middle of the game, you are probably creating much more difficulties for all companies that are in the process. So we still believe that we can indeed improve some of the weaker points. We can improve quality, but we still believe that REACH is still sufficient and good enough to cover everything.
We think that REACH is really new, even if it's already 6 years, and that a lot of companies, especially the SMEs, who will be impacted by the next registration deadlines, will need stability. We need to learn from what we did already as biggest company, and if we change the rules now, it will be extremely unstable for the industry.